Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to use Yacht Manager's preferences to customize the look and feel of your Yacht Manager program. Alright, many times when you're using Yacht Manager, there'll be some things you feel that you don't use or don't want to see. To give an example, let's click here on the trip log, and you notice that across here we have this sub button group, and we have quite a few buttons there. You might not have a generator, or you might not have a water maker, so why have that button for the water maker log? Or you might not want to use the battery log or the waypoint log or the trip planner. So why have those buttons there if you're not going to use them? And that's a good question. In order to get rid of those buttons, we can do that in the preferences. And the way we get there is we go up here to the options menu, we click on it, and we select this selection right here, preferences, and then we move down on this side of the screen. This is what we're going to be talking about. And in the trip log group, we look for the things that we don't want to see anymore. Like, okay, let's say for instance that we don't have a generator. Well, then we're going to uncheck this checkbox, and we're going to uncheck the trip planner, and uncheck the waypoint log, and uncheck the battery log, because we don't use those and I really don't want to see them. Now if we go back to the trip log page and click there, you notice that those buttons are no longer appearing now up at the top, and therefore you don't have to be concerned with them and you don't have to deal with them anymore. Now, you didn't actually remove them from the program, they're just hidden, and that way it's just for your convenience. Alright, let's go to another item. Inventory. Let's click that log and see what we get. Alright, there's the general inventory, which we certainly understand, but we may not want to deal with a chart inventory or a video inventory, audio tape inventory, a book inventory, or galley inventory. So why should we have those there? Well, let's go to preferences again, options, preferences, and go down to the inventory group, and we're going to uncheck the chart log, uncheck this one, the audio log, uncheck the book log, and uncheck the galley log. Now we go back to the inventory group, click here, and you notice that none of those sub buttons now are available. The only thing we got is print, which is going to print the inventory, the general inventory log. Alright, let's go back again to preferences. And the other items are in the contact group. Okay, the contact group is up here. Here it's called the people log. And you notice we have a button for guest log, crew log, suppliers log, services log. Well, we may not use some of these, and the ones that I don't use are guests and crew. So again, we go back to preferences, click there, go down here and uncheck guest log and uncheck crew log. I do use the supplier and I do use the services log. Alright, now we'll go back up there and just check, we'll see what it looks like, and yep, they're gone, just like before. Alright, one more time back to preferences. Over here on the right are the main areas of Yacht Manager, and again you can turn any of these off also. Now I'm not going to turn any of these off because I use all this stuff on the right. However, under here you have unit of measure. Well, let's say that you're using US standard, but we decide to use the program over in England, so we go to the metric and we change everything to metric. And it says here, a little dialog comes and it says you may also need to run the control panel applet region and language in order to have dates and other symbols displayed correctly. Okay, we're going to cover this next. Now, in order to change the region of the world that you live in so that Yacht Manager displays things the way you want it to see it, in other words, we're trying to change things so it works right in England, we need to go to the control panel. And we're going to go to the control panel down here. We're in Windows 7, and you click the Start, and then move up here to the control panel and click here. And then yours might look a little differently than this, but what you're looking for is something about clock, language, and region. And you click that. And the next step in Windows 7 is you come up here and you click Region and Language. Click that, and a dialog comes up like this. And right now you can see we're set up for English United States. Well, let's change this to English United Kingdom. Right there, change that, and you notice immediately the date format changed to days first, month second, years last. And when we got that all done, we say OK. And then we close this dialog box here. And we're back to Yacht Manager. But now, what funny thing is, if we go in here and we look at the expense log, it hasn't changed. We're still with dollars instead of pounds. Well, that's because in order for Yacht Manager to pick this change that you just made up, you have to close it and restart it. So we're going to close it, and then we're going to restart Yacht Manager. Say OK to this. And now if we look in the expense log, you'll see that things are in pounds rather than dollars and cents. Okay? And a lot of other things have changed too, where things were normally measured in feet, they'll be in meters and things like that. Now I've changed everything back to US dollars and to US, but we're going to go back into preference to do one last thing. Click Preferences, and then we're going to go down here, and first of all we're going to set the splash picture. That's the picture that comes up when you first launch Yacht Manager. Okay, and it can be any picture you want. Let me see, I've got some pictures in here. We're going to select this and go down here, and I have a picture here. Well, here's a nice Anchorage scene. I'm going to select that one there and click the Open button. And now if you go to the home screen by clicking this button right here, first the reminders will come up, but now you see that there's a picture there of what I selected, and that can work for you too. Alright, the next thing is go back to Preferences, Options, Preferences. We're going to set the Pick Doc directory. This is a directory where any pictures that you attach to a record or a document that you attach to a record, this is where they'll be stored. Because what Yacht Manager does, it makes a copy of any picture that you choose and it puts it in this directory. Okay, we're going to set that right now. First we click that button, and a directory dialog comes up, and let's see, where we want to put it temporarily. Well, let's just say we're going to put it in the C drive, and we want to put it down in here, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put it exactly. Let's say we're going to put it in Users, Allen, Desktop, and that's where it's going to be. It's going to be stored right on my desktop. You can choose any folder you want to choose other than the Programs folder, because those are off limits in Windows 7 and Windows Vista. Okay, we're going to say OK, and now that's set. The next thing we'll do is set the backup directory. This is where, when you make backups of your log, this is where they'll be stored. So we're going to set that too. And again, we're going to set that for the same place. You can see it's already came up to our last directory. We're going to say it's going to be stored on the desktop also. So we've already selected that. We're going to click here. OK. Now, you've completely set up your program preferences. Now Yacht Manager is set up for your use and your log. Thank you very much for watching. This is Alan Wynn from Oso Software.